Hey, that's Fight here with a quick video on the greatest trick you can do in marketing. And I'm actually going to do it on you, if you like. This was just, I was looking for an image to represent greatest trick, and this is what came up. It is actually a great movie, so hey, why not? So, the greatest trick is based on a fundamental idea, namely this following one here. It is, here's someone else saying it. Todd Brown says, how to fix any broken marketing funnel. And really the summary of this whole email is this. A novice goes in and they engineer their product, their marketing, their funnel, and then they sit down and go, ooh, what's the optimal way of doing it? How about I have this? How about I have retargeting? How about I use this headline? How about? And then once they've done all of this, they launch. And of course, the problem with this is this takes for absolutely ever, and secondly, this optimization is based on make-believe. It's not based on fact, it's based on things you hope are going to happen. And as a result, these novice launches typically fail. Most of them fail, flat out, boom. Or they never happen because this part takes too long. It takes for absolutely ever. And I've had clients I was referred clients who were sitting down and trying to do the ultimate product, the best product ever. And as a result, they never got anywhere. Whereas those who've been around the block once or twice, they go, well, let's create a lean version, the very basic version that is barely good enough to go out there without damaging our reputation. That's, of course, always a given, right? It needs to deliver results and not damage your reputation. But then they take it out into the marketplace. And the reason for this is so super simple. It is the reality that you cannot guess what other people want. It is impossible. You can observe them all day long. And still, our human minds are so complex, so complicated, that you can have a fair guess, but you'll never know for fact what it is people truly want, how they express it in their minds, because we're all different, we all have different perspectives. And as a result, the only way to do it is to engineer a lean version, something that is good enough without damaging your reputation, launching it, and then based on the actual data, the feedback in the marketplace, you optimize it. So that's the fundamental idea. And what I'm going to show you now, or play for the rest of this video, is it's a recording I did for myself. That's how I work. When I have an idea, I sit down and either I write it up on the whiteboard or I just record it. Typically when I'm on the road, I use Voxer. It's an app for the phone. I record it to myself. So in it, I will be referring to them as opposed to you, because I was talking to myself, but really it's about you, right? So you're going to see the screen, nothing else happens, but listen to the recording. That's basically how I recorded it for myself. Yes, I'm coughing in it, I have a bit of a cold, but hey, it's the message that matters. And it explains both this great marketing trick based on, when I say the great marketing trick, the greatest trick of them all in marketing. You will also see how I'm using it on you, and it is all based on the one thing you're seeing here. So enjoy. There is an abrupt ending because that's how I record things to myself. I don't go, ooh, by the way, there was no call to action, but you get the idea. I hope you find it useful. If you do, leave a comment down below. So there you go. That's my call to action. Cheers. Bye. Alrighty, here's a campaign I'm going to do. Oh, shut up, USB device. A quick campaign I'm going to do consists of two parts. One is the email that's going out, and I'm going to say, look, I'm showing you one of the greatest tricks of marketing. And it is also very self-serving, and I'm only doing it because I'm showing you what that trick is. Otherwise, you might feel that I'm taking advantage of you. So you can then decide whether you want to continue reading what I have to say, or you say, well, that's too self-serving, goodbye, good riddance. The trick itself, I'm going to show them. The idea, it's the anatomy of perspective. That might just be a YouTube video. And the idea in it is that I want to give them an example of something where people have beliefs around what is possible for them and what's not possible for them. And when you look at the fundamental concept of testing your way to success in marketing, in the sense of you don't go out and come up with your campaign, then you sit down and you think what is the best headline and what's the best font to use and what's the best hook and what's the best offer, and then you test it. No, the pros go in, quickly let rip. Here's what they can do, the best of their knowledge, and then they get real data from the marketplace, and then they optimize, they improve. In the beginning, most people don't believe this is possible for them. They have such little, or they have no prior experience what this actually means to take something which is not perfect. I mean, we are all taught we need to, do the best possible job. You can't turn in a test in school and say, you know what, I'll get your feedback and then I will optimize it, I will improve it. No, you can't do that. You're marked on the thing you hand in. So it is so counterintuitive, and we don't have that experience, that a lot of people don't believe that this is what is possible. They don't believe this is something that gives results, and as a result they don't do it. So really, I want to get people in who take that leap of faith, and perhaps I can show them an example that they go, yes, this is something, although I don't have the experience, I can see myself doing it. I am willing to dive in and do it. So now we come to the self-serving bit. Of course, it wasn't. You could use this in a self-serving way, but it's not meant to be self-serving at all. It is self-serving in the sense that when you have an audience that aligns with this particular belief, the belief that you have to, in this case, take that leap of faith and go out and do the best you can do, but then you stop and then you get feedback from the marketplace. When you have people who are aligned with this and they believe in it, now I have an easy job helping them. Because when I go out and say, look, let's try these 3 different things, they'll go, oh yeah, that makes sense, because ultimately I can't guess what the right one is. The market is going to tell me. Whereas if you try to appeal to everyone and get everyone in, it's like, look, I've got this awesome process here, then suddenly you're constantly having to re-persuade those who are doubting and who believe that this is not going to work for them, that yes, they should stick with it, and yes, they should give it a go, and yes, and no, don't run away, and oh, please give it another go. And it's like, oh god, complete nightmare. So it's self-serving in the sense that I have a much better chance of working or getting them results, and that is of course serving me because I look like a bloody superhero. But of course, as you can see now, it's not really self-serving, because you now create an environment where it is easier to serve your clients. So that's really the fundamental bit, or the fundamental 2-stage I think follow-up I'm going to do fairly early on in the follow-up sequence for ACT. Alrighty, cheers, bye. So there you go, that's the big trick. The big trick is not to bend over backwards and try to please everyone, but actually really early on in your marketing make quite clear what the fundamentally important things are and what beliefs people must hold. And then you've got 2 options. I mean, either you state it and you say it, here it is. Either you align with this, and in that case I can help you, or you don't, in which case I can't help you. And there's a classic pattern to this. You keep repeating the message, hey, those who do X win, and those who don't, they lose. And then, those who align with it, they go, yes, I want to be a winner. I believe into, well, in this case, it would be, testing. Or the alternative is you educate people, or try to educate them and say, look, here you may have been holding this other belief until now. Let me show you why it is better to change over. But never ever go in and say, oh, by the way, you don't need, I'm using my example now, right? You don't need to test because you're trying to appeal to everyone, because you will appeal to people who go, fundamentally, I don't want to test. I just want to put some marketing out there and clients come running to me. And of course, you can never ever meet their expectations, because the reality is such that the only way to do it is to test, right? And get feedback from the marketplace. So whatever your message is, keep saying it often and early on. Whatever is fundamental to your process, whatever is required to make it work, never ever be tempted to say, oh, let's just ignore this, let's do something else here. No, make it clear, because you will speak to those who go, yeah, I get it. It may be extra work, but hey, I'm willing to do that because the outcome you're promising is important enough to me. Whereas everyone else who goes, well, fundamentally, I just want to sit back, relax, and marketing is going to work for me, or whatever your process is, whatever outcome you give, if they're not willing to put in the work, it's not worth talking to them, because you may get their money once with a lot of persuasion and a lot of urgency and scarcity and bullshit, but they're not going to be lifetime customers. They're going to get you success stories and testimonials and referrals, etc. It's bad karma, and it's just not a good idea. Alrighty, there you go. The greatest trick of them all is, I guess, to be honest, but in a very strategic way. Knowing up front where the hard bits are and stating them explicitly. Alrighty, cheers, bye.